this Maneko 64. I don't know how many of you already watch him. I've been watching him for years. I pretty much wake up with my coffee and watch him every morning, and I really enjoy him. Here he's talking about, he's kind of a macroeconomics guy. Anyway, here he's talking about the constituent charter of the BIS, and I thought this was interesting. Check this out.
But let's see which American banks own the BIS, and why the talk of the BIS trying to regulate the banks is just like, doesn't make any sense, right? It's not really regulation that's going to benefit you. And we're going to come to CBDCs in a moment, why the BIS is so important. And whereas the said central banks and the banking group, including Messrs. J.P. Morgan and Company of New York, the First National Bank of New York, the First National Bank of Chicago, have undertaken to found the said bank and have guaranteed or arranged for the guarantee of the subscription of its authorized capital amounting to 500 million Swiss francs, equal to 145,161,290.3 grams of fine gold. That's what money is, and they know it. Divided into 200,000 shares. So there you go. That's who owns the BIS. And they have a diplomatic immunity. As I said, it's like a country. It was created by an international treaty. So what does that mean in terms of the central bankers? Well, the central bankers, and by that I mean at the Federal Reserve, at the ECB, Bank of England, and all the other minor central banks in Europe, minor to the ECB, the Bank of Japan, they go to Basel every other month, and they travel there with a diplomatic passport. Can you imagine having a BIS passport? Maybe that's something that the mainstream press could ask Jay Powell at one of his press conferences. Could you show us your BIS passport? So what that means is that they travel freely with documents they don't have to show anyone. And in my opinion, they are coordinating the CBDC agenda. That's why it's so important to know your enemy. There's the old saying by the Chinese philosopher Sun Tzu, and he says, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, and this is the enemy, the BIS, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. That means you're going to go nowhere. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. So there you go. BIS, head of the CBDC snake. And I think the other deception of the BIS and the international bankers are the digital currencies, the cryptocurrencies. I think that's been like a distraction, something that has helped them develop the CBDC, and they've done it kind of for free. And they kickstart that with Bitcoin. That's my view. I never liked something where you don't know who created it. We're told it's Satoshi Nakamoto. But there are many people who've done research, and it goes back, the Bitcoin white paper goes back to MIT. It goes back to Jeffrey Epstein. So the bankers are clever, and they use deception. And yes, I'm not arguing that a lot of people haven't made a lot of money from being cryptos and Bitcoin, but they've helped create the infrastructure for CBDCs, for the central bankers, and the central bankers haven't had to spend any money. It's all been done. I think that's a big deception. That will be coming out as well. You might not agree with me on that, but I'm going to recommend that you watch some of my videos.
Yeah, anyway, check out Maneko 64. I love his stuff. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, we're back. got some unboxings. Stick around for what's in this bottom box. I'm really excited about that one. And let's get into it. And while I'm talking, I wanted to go over what it's been like trying to open an account. Oh, pause this. Hold on. Restart. There we go. So, yeah, the trouble I had trying to open another banking account, business account. So, I first went to the bank that I have a personal account, and that didn't work out so well. I was in there, I went into the office area, the lobby area, and in the lobby they were saying, you know, you have to make an appointment, and I was looking around and there was a couple people in there, and one had somebody with him, but the other one didn't have anybody. And, you know, I kind of was looking at her. He said, well, we have one open, but she has an appointment coming up here in about 10 minutes. And I said, okay. And he said, well, if he shows up in this 10 minutes, then, you know, we won't be able to help you. And I said, well, I'll wait and see if he shows or not. So I'm waiting, and it's probably 15, getting close to, 20 minutes, and he comes back out and goes over and talks to her and is on his way over to me, and then this guy comes in at about that time. So, needless to say, I had to go home, and they were saying, well, you can try to do this online, the whole time. Well, I didn't want to do it online. I wanted to just go in there and get it set up. But the whole time I had this feeling like, she had that 15, 20 minutes where we could have just probably had it done. In fact, I'm pretty sure we could have had it done in that amount of time. But anyway, you could just tell the feeling was they didn't want me in there. They wanted me to do it online. And so I went home and tried it online, and then that didn't work. And so, I was getting frustrated. And then I got a letter from another bank saying that I had secured a DBA with the state, and they were saying, if you need a bank, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll try them. And so I went to that bank, and so yeah, this new bank, I'll get into it in a minute here. Thank you for all the support, and congrats on your win, Gold Sniping Farmer. And he's got this glued into the bottom, so I'm going to have to cut it all the way open. But yeah, so this new bank, they said, actually they were saying, just give us a call and we'll walk you through it. Oh, I did get a green sticker. Awesome. He said he didn't have these when I won, and I said, well, the reason I won that piece of silver was just so I could get a green tractor sticker. And he said he didn't have one, and I said, oh man, well, what a waste. And looks like you made it happen. Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's an awesome sticker, by the way. So yeah, this new bank, call them up, and we'll walk you through the steps of doing it online. So I thought, all right, I'll try that. My goodness. Wow. Had that thing taped in the bottom. Excellent tape. And so I called them up, went through the steps, submitted. Nice lady. She said, okay, you got everything done you need to. Just email some of your credentials over from the state, and and we'll approve them and get back to you. And I said, okay, great. And so I sent over that stuff in the email, and a week goes by, I haven't heard anything, so I get in contact with them. They said, yeah, we got your email, and everything looks good. Let me get back with you why they haven't approved it yet. And so I wait another week and finally call her back, and she says, well, yeah, my boss has been out of town and something's weird with this, and she gets back tomorrow, blah, 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 I'll give you a call back. And so eventually, it was like another few days go by, and I had to call her again. And I'm like, what's going on? What's so hard about this? She said, we can't do this for you. You're gonna have to go in and do it. Go into a branch and do it. So just like in the beginning where I wanted to do it at a branch, now, this new bank is telling me after I tried it with them online, just go into a branch. And so yeah, it looks like I got a nice Libertad. Like we got a little bit of a fingerprint right up top there. Anyway, awesome. Thank you, Gold Sniping Farmer. Greatly appreciated. Great deal. Go check out Gold Sniping Farmer. Not only can you get an awesome sticker, a green tractor sticker. Actually, the tractor I noticed isn't really green, but you get that impression. So yeah, he's got a great channel and runs some great auctions. Go check him out. But yeah, so then I had to go into the bank and set up an account there, and finally did that. But just because you set up an account, it's like you're not ready at all. I went to make a payment, and they're like, "Oh, you can't make a wire. You can't do a wire until we approve you." And it's somebody in between the bank and the other bank. It's like, what in the world? So yeah, I had to get approved there. So then I went back to the bank, and I'm like, I'm trying to make a wire, and I can't do it because they have to approve me. And so they call them, and they're like, yeah, no, we can't do it. They're going to have to approve you. And I'm like, well, fine. Can you just, let them approve me? So we put that in to have that happen. And, I got that approved. But, okay, here's a whole bunch of stuff from Stormy. What do we got going on here? We go. Another bag of goods from Empire Precious Metals. Yeah, but I couldn't do a wire, and then I had just the bank do the wire for me, and they wired it over, and it was $90 for a wire. So yeah, and so now I found out that to do wires I have to go apply, not for them, but with the bank, and the bank approves me, and then they give me discounts on wires, and it's still expensive, like $25 or something for wires, and they'll approve me for ACH, and that's a little bit cheaper. But I was still surprised. Like, I did not know it was that expensive to just transfer money from one bank to another. It should be free, in my opinion, but hey, or a few cents, $90, what in the world? And also, I had to set up a whole nother side account to receive money through, like, Clover or something. And they receive, to receive electronic payments, and like credit cards or probably cryptos, electronic stuff, and set up a different account to receive ACH, and that was with a whole different. Actually, it was with that bank, just an inner department in that bank, and that's just the banking. Like all the other stuff that I've been, it's just unbelievable. I had no idea that it's just like one thing leads into another. Then shipping, I had to open up a whole thing on shipping where. Anyway, keeps track of everything. It's expensive, but that leads into opening another account with stamps.com, and just all these accounts, and it's craziness. I've been so busy trying to get things set up. But anyway, enough boring talk. But yeah, banking has become not easy and expensive, and in my opinion, unsafe. Look at this nice packaging by Empire Precious Metals. Ah, speaking of a coin that I just grabbed by chance out of my case, here it is. This is, I believe, the next. Yeah, I had this one, and this is the next in line in that series, I believe. Anyway, I liked it. Another nice coin. I like those dolphin coins. They look cool. And another sticker. Thank you, thank you. We'll get that up. And my goodness, what is this? Ooh, might have to book an appointment. Cool, cool. Starting right on. Okay, and one more here. What else did we get? Oh yeah, the pirate coin, that's right. Got, let's get a little zoomage. I'll have to get you in a capsule. Get you in a capsule. Look at you. Cool. Those eyes. Cool. Where am I putting away? Excuse me. And yeah, this here, Thule, maybe Thule can tell me about this here. I seen her taking a bunch of these out, and I was gifted this as a kid, and I have no idea about it. I think she collected stamps or something, my aunt. And I've had this ever since, and now it looks like they just cut mine in half. I see they're actually big envelopes when I was watching her channel. Thule's channel. So what is this about, Thule? Do you know? Let me know. And then who was it else? Oh, Cranky Stacker, I believe, ended up with one of the envelopes of Thule. So I see these on his channel, on both their channels. So I'd never seen them before. So I guess since you guys know about them, let me know. Yeah. And alright, those were those packages. Now we got another little box here. And what's in here is nothing too exciting, but hey, it's something to unbox, right? But yeah, this other box here is an exciting one. Little kooks. 10th ounce platinum kooks. Let me get one out here for you. This puts me an ounce of platy. Kookaburra Platinum 995, I think is. Yep, 995. Hard to read. Alright, so add that to my platy stash. Dum da dum dum dum. Alright. Oh yeah. This has been a long time coming. So like way back at the beginning of the year coming, but I've added to it along the way. And we've got some non-ferrous washers here. Yeah. Baba, 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 baba. Oops, sorry. Bumping the camera here. Everywhere. Sorry, guys. Wow, look at this for a tape job. Where to enter? Be like Tiger here in his method. Look at that. I think that's the same type of box. How did he do that? Some weird thing like that? Definitely not quite right. Oh, and he would have probably had this cut too. But hey, I'm no tiger. Whooshaw. Bubble wrappage. So it's a good sign. Oh, some extras piling out on me. Ho ho ho. Bunch of bubble wrap. Look at this. What do we got in here? I did not order that. Cool. Bonuses. Alright, guys. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Alright. These are comex bar slices, guys. And I have been very anxious to get my paws on these. So we've got 23, 122, 17. Interesting. So I know that, so these are, then we got 15.52 ounces Troy of 3/9 AG. Couple little stamps on there. That is cool. Boom, boom. So yeah, speaking of which, 100% pure hemp seed oil, coconut oil, selective olive oil, yellow beeswax, and honey. Beekeeper natural honey lip balm. This can go right here. All right, so that was actually the second one. This was the original order. And this is from, okay, so I think this was it. I think it must be from bar 62. I thought said it was from bar 40, but I'm guessing that it's this number right here. Yes, what do we got here? We've got this 23, 122, 17. And this one's 22. I bet the first number is the year. And the next number is the bar number. But yeah, this is was bar number 62 that they pulled off of the comex to do these slices with. I thought it was bar 40, but I'm guessing that it's from 62, and that's what that middle number means. I'm not sure what the last one is. Anyway, I'll call and double check, or maybe I can just look on that sheet that he sent. But anyway, I think that's what those numbers are about. And yeah, so the cool thing is they're pulling these bars off of the comex. They're slicing them up into chunks, and you can get your hands on one. These are coming from, I got them from Arc Silver in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. New store opening up there, run by Ian, and great guy. And it's interesting. Yeah, great guy, and he worked with me on these. He gave me great deals. He gave me a ton of patience to work with a small guy like me. I didn't have enough money just to pay him outright, and asked him if he would be willing to do payments, and he did, and he set it aside, the one I wanted, and took. Actually, it didn't end up happening that he took any payments from me, but he held them up in the time. We went back and forth and about payments and this and that, and eventually I just said run everything and send it over, and so it was all one payment. But he was really patient with me on just setting them aside and waiting until I was ready, and we got it done. So I'll probably be going back for these. These are probably the best deal. Not only do I love the product, this is probably the best deal I've gotten on silver thus far. So I was ecstatic to get these, and then more ecstatic to work with Ian, who was great to work with, and the price was quite impressive. So now I think that it was partially I caught them early when they're just setting up their store. I found him on Gold Silver Pros, the YouTube channel, and I'll show you here what I got these for. So the first one was okay, I don't have a date on that one, but that one was early on at the beginning of the year, and probably in 2022, like when they sliced it up there. And I got it at $1.50 over spot. Spot price was at $24.93. I got it at $1.50 over. 16.7 ounce silver slice for $442.70. So I was ecstatic with that price. Then again, after I was ready to run that order, I was called and talked to him and said, go ahead and run the order on this bar and send it out. And I said, were you okay with how long it took, and would you be willing to just roll and to do another one? I actually wanted him to charge me that day and send this one out. But I think he got caught up and carried away. He's working really hard opening that new store, and he was so patient with me, I didn't even call him and ask him about what had happened with this one. But anyway, he was like, "Yeah, I'll do another one," and he said, that first one was a real special deal because they were just kind of coming online and advertising about it and whatnot, and so, which was understandable. That was the best deal I've probably ever had on silver. But he said, this time we can do $1.95 over a spot. But it just so happens that the silver price had came down. Spot price at that time was $22.83, and he gave me this bar at $1.95 over. And so this one was $389.54. Shipping was only $14 from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So yeah, I'm ecstatic about him, and I'm going to be giving him a call and probably be doing more of these. And I highly recommend them. I got this one. I really like this one because I can put a chain through here. This natural occurring hole is just a bubble that formed in the 1,000-ounce bar, and I can just hang that around my neck and go blinging. So yeah, I thought it was some cool character in that bar. I mean, I don't know, how cool is that? Bar number 62 pulled off the comex during the silver squeeze, and yes, I like to squeeze my silver. So all you silver squeeze haters, I don't know what to say about that either. I'm not, to me, I don't consider myself a pumper, but I'm not anti-pump. Like, I think silver has some big potential, and, I think to the moon is an exaggeration, yes, but, to each their own. You can't get so mad at people. Like, some people won't pay attention to silver no matter what you say. Like, if you say, silver is just going to stay right where it's at, or might even drop a little bit, people will be like, okay, well, what is the big deal? I don't want anything, and if you say, well, silver is just going to just only increase and could just increase fast, it's like, yeah, right, you're just a pumper, whatever. So, whatever. I think that it, is at least going to preserve my wealth at where I'm putting into it. It might drop a little bit, but it ain't going to go to zero. And I doubt that it's going to drop as fast as the dollar. At least so far, it's been holding its own. So and I think that it has the potential to obviously increase quite a bit, because I do believe there's some suppression going on with what's going on with the financial system, and so yeah, I mean, whatever. I like to squeeze my silver. All right. So, oh yeah, I was going to show you. So, yeah, here's his website. This is Ian with Arc Silver Gold Osmium. And yeah, great guy to work with. Give him a call. Also, they're one of the few dealers, I think, on this new Osmium. I don't know anything about it, but supposedly it's the rarest of metals or precious metals or something like that. But maybe nickel would be all about this here. I don't know. But anyway, he's one of the few dealers, along with another lady there. Yeah, so check him out. He was really good to me, and I'm excited to hopefully get me another piece of a slice off the comex. And I think they're going to start doing it. So these actually came from, these are being cut and stamped by Silverback Precious Metals, which is stamped right there. Goodness, what happened to my lighting here? Silverback Precious Metals. So that's who sliced these and stamped them, these particular bars. But I think Ian himself is going to start pulling some bars as well, and they're going to start doing some of these on their own. If you get a hold of him, you might could still get some Silverback precious metals cuts as well, slices as well. So give him a call on that, or he might not have these particular ones anymore. I'm not sure if he's going to keep selling the Silverback precious metals ones, or do sell these as well as his own, or how that's going to work. But anyway, I kind of like getting a piece of history, as it were, straight off the comex. I can't afford a 1,000-ounce bar right out the gate like that. So for me, these little slices are about as close as I'm going to get. And being able to squeeze a piece of comex bar, for me, I like it. Okay, guys. Thanks, Empire Precious Metals. Thank you, Gold Sniping Farmer. And we thank you, Ian, with Arc Silver. Awesome, very happy with this. Thanks for working with me. Thanks for being patient. Greatly appreciated. And, oh yeah, and also, what did we get here? Man, didn't even look at these yet. Are these just regular dimes, or did we actually get a bit of constitutional? By the way, the junk silver term is referring to the non-silver metal in there. It's just referring to the copper or whatever else is in there. That's considered the junk part, because that's why you call it like 90%. That's considered 90%. Well, what's that mean? It means if it's junk, that means that the 10% is non-silver. That's just why they call it junk silver, is because there's some junk in it. It's not pure. So it's not a negative term on the silver. It's just to what percentage of junk is there in the silver. So some constitutional. Look there, no copperish hue there on the edge. Beautiful. Well, thank you, Ian. Man, oh man. Yeah, go check Ian out. He's gonna be a large dealer anyway. Yet he taken the time with some really small. And I mentioned that I had a YouTube channel and it was starting a small little LLC, and he said that he was gonna subscribe, and he was very supportive, and that's just awesome for somebody that big. Again, I don't know, this community's blowing me away so far. And Ian is a good guy, so go check him out. give him a call. And I will see you guys. Oh, and along with all this other stuff, yeah, I had to set up a whole shipping department where all my shipments can be kept track of, and you should be able to track it on both ends. So I'm going to be sending out. So I printed up my first packing slip to Tuli. So it's up by the door, ready to be dropped. I'm gonna get some of these other packages packaged up, and you know, I printed up my first one last night. It worked, I think. So as long as I can drop these and they send off, hopefully that's set up properly as well. But all of it has taken time and more than I thought it would. So thanks for bearing with me, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.